So great news for buyers. We are firmly in a buyer's market, and buyer's markets in the greater Phoenix area do not happen very often. The last time we were in a buyer's market was a 4-week time period in December of 2022. Prior to that, we didn't have a buyer's market going all the way back to 2014. So buyer's markets are pretty rare, and we are firmly entrenched in one right now where buyers can get a lot out of sellers. So if you are somebody who has been thinking about buying a home, who is active in the market right now, this is great news for you because you can really beat up on sellers right now. You can beat them up on price, you can beat them up on concessions, you can get repairs out of them. So this is the time where buyers need to take ownership because it does not happen very often and they are very short-lived. The last time we were in a buyer's market was December of 2022, and that lasted for 4 whole weeks. Prior to that, you would go all the way back to 2014, and that buyer's market lasted for 9 weeks. So buyer's markets are very short-lived, and they do not happen very often. Well, obviously that's when the level of demand is much, much lower than the supply, right? So there's more homes on the market than there are buyers to purchase those properties. More supply, less demand. That means that the people that are buying that product have more leverage. And so that's where we're at today, that buyers have more leverage against the sellers that are in the market. So why is it that buyer's markets are so rare and short-lived? Well, it all just comes back to supply and demand. So if we go all the way back to the Great Financial Crisis in 07, 08, if everybody remembers, supply shot up, builders lost their shirts, property values decreased on average in Phoenix like 54%. That was the most violent buyer's market that we have had in recent memory, going back decades. So because of that, builders really tightened up and stopped building homes at a high clip, right? They're only going to build based on the demand for their housing. They want to protect their profit margins. Builders are in business to make money. They are not charities, and they are not going to just build homes because our population is increasing. They are going to build homes to sell to people at a high price because they want profits. That's capitalism at work, right? And so they really underbuilt because we had this population that was growing in the shadows, that was starting to age up, not in a position to buy homes yet, so they're not building in preparation for larger population. They're gonna build once that population gets there. And so we have drastically underbuilt in preparation for the population size that we're at today. And so because of that, it affects the resale market. Builders don't build enough for those incoming people to move into. They can't ever resale those houses. And so that supply starts to dwindle as demand increases, firmly keeping us in a seller's market, which we have been in a majority of the time going back all the way to 2008. So that is why this is so rare and so monumental for buyers who are in the market to really take advantage of sellers right now. We have no idea how long this buyer's market can last. It is very, very different than 2007, 2008. It's probably more similar to 2014, and remember, that only lasted 9 total weeks. So again, this could be a short, small window of time where buyers can really beat up on sellers. And the thing to keep in mind, even though I'm excited that we are in a buyer's market, it is barely a buyer's market. So it's not like all of a sudden we've got this tons of supply and no demand. It's like just the inklings of a buyer's market where they have that extra power. So buyers, if there's a brand new listing on the market and you love it, probably not going to be able to negotiate really hard on that. But if there's been a home that's been listed for, say, 30 days or longer, you absolutely should be able to negotiate a good deal. But a telltale sign, because I see this, is if somebody's been listed for like 3 or 4 months and has done 0 price reductions, they're probably not willing to negotiate, and that's probably not, I always say it's worth putting an offer in for our clients, but temper your expectations. This is barely a buyer's market. It is nothing like 07, 08. This is more similar to 2014. The downside is affordability is still not that great, right? Mortgage rates are hovering in the mid to high sixes. The prices for home, while we're in a buyer's market, are still high. One, if you do enter this market, I do not think that property values are going to drastically decrease to where you're going to lose a bunch of money. Could it take you a while to earn enough appreciation to cover the cost of a sale? Absolutely. But you shouldn't be buying a home if you're only going to be there for a couple of years. You should buy a home if you plan on being there for at least 5 years or more. If it's anything shorter than that, then you're probably not going to get enough appreciation to cover the cost of selling, right? You're not going to lose value on the home, but you're not going to make enough to be able to cover the cost of the sale. And then always remember, do not try to time the market. You should only buy a home when you are comfortable to do so and that payment matches your budget. And if you can afford it now based on your budget, remember that mortgage rates will be lower in the future. Most experts are predicting that we're probably going to be somewhere in the mid to high fives by the middle to end of next year. Now, of course, experts are wrong. We don't know what events are going to take place that could derail things, but I think that mortgage rates will be lower in the future than they are today, but you should only buy a home if you can afford the monthly payment based on today's rates. Yay, buyer's market. Barely. If you have any questions about buying a home in Phoenix in today's market, definitely let me know. Don't forget to give a like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.